The story of the Weldon Spring site begins during World War II. In 1940, while war was raging in Europe and Asia, President Franklin D. Roosevelt authorized the U.S. Army to acquire 17,232 acres of land in St. Charles County, Missouri, to construct the Weldon Spring Ordnance Works for the production of explosives of TNT and DNT.
December 7, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
With the end of World War II in 1945, the Weldon Spring Ordnance Works was no longer needed, and the U.S. Army closed the plant and transferred much of the property to the state of Missouri. However, in the aftermath of World War II, the United States faced new threats. The U.S. government's top-secret race to build an atomic bomb, known as the Manhattan Project, had created and deployed the world's first nuclear weapons during World War II. The Cold War had begun. In 1956, the Army transferred about 205 acres of the former Ordnance Works to the Atomic Energy Commission, or AEC, for creation of the Weldon Spring Uranium Feed Materials Plant. This new facility operated from 1957 to 1966 as one of many facilities all across the country producing material for our nation's nuclear defense and nuclear power industry.
No enrichment was done on the site. The metals were shipped to other Atomic Energy Commission sites for enrichment and development either into nuclear weapons or used as reactor fuel to produce electricity.
However, with decreasing political tension and decreasing production demands, the Weldon Spring plant was shut down in 1966.
In 1980, CERCLA, or the Comprehensive Environmental Response, Compensation, and Liability Act, commonly referred to as Superfund, was enacted by Congress.
Due to CERCLA, or Superfund, being enacted, the Weldon Spring Quarry, which is about 4 miles from the site, was placed on the National Priorities List, or Superfund list, in 1987. 2 years later, the National Priorities listing was expanded to include the chemical plant and raffinate pits. All structures were decontaminated and dismantled. Soil source areas were removed, surface water treated, quarry waste removed, and groundwater and surface water monitoring locations were determined. Surface cleanup of the Weldon Spring site finished in 2001 with the completion of the disposal cell. Weldon Spring is a success story in terms of remediation and the reuse of a former industrial operations area returned to the benefit of the public. Visitors can come onto the site and recreate, go into the Interpretive Center for educational purposes, and walk on the disposal cell. The U.S. Department of Energy Office of Legacy Management is the caretaker of legacy sites across the nation, like Weldon Spring, that played a critical role in America's nuclear history. The Weldon Spring site's greatest value is that it is a tremendous resource to the community. It is a place to explore, a place to learn, and a place to be inspired. The Weldon Spring site is open for public use, education, recreation, and to enjoy.